10 songs with violent or disturbing backstories. Music is an integral part of everyday life for not only myself, but many others that I know. It can evoke a highly diverse spectrum of emotions, often associating memories or feelings to a single song. But what if a song you associated with happiness was actually derived from the opposite? What if that song turned out to have a dark, violent, or even disturbing story behind its creation? Today, we will be taking a look at these stories. Misfits, Bullet. Misfits are an American punk band from Lodi, New Jersey, known for often combining the world of punk with explicit horror and science fiction themes. In June of 1978, they released a cover for Bullet, featuring former President John F. Kennedy's assassination. Kennedy's life was cut short while riding in a presidential motorcade through Dealey Plaza in Dallas, Texas, on November 22, 1963. The shooter, Lee Harvey Oswald, was a former U.S. Marine who died just 2 days later after being shot himself through the basement of Dallas Police Headquarters. The motive for Oswald assassinating Kennedy is still not known to this day, with many conspiracy theories surrounding the case as to what the true motive could have been. Lyrically, Bullet makes multiple references to the Kennedy assassination, with the addition of sexually explicit lyrics directed towards Kennedy's wife, Jacqueline. President's bullet-ridden body in the street. Ride, Johnny, ride. Kennedy's shattered head hits concrete. Ride, Johnny, ride. Johnny's wife is floundering. Johnny's wife is scared. Run, Jackie, run. Texas is an outrage when your husband is dead. Texas is an outrage when they pick up his head. Texas is the reason that the president's dead. The Smiths, Suffer Little Children. The Smiths are one of Britain's most influential rock groups of the 1980s. Founded in late 1982 over a love for poetry and literature, the Smiths often produce music that revolves around melancholic or introspective moods. In 1984, within their debut self-titled album The Smiths, they released a song titled Suffer Little Children, based around the Moors murders. The Moors murders were a series of child killings carried out by Ian Brady and Myra Hindley, taking place in Manchester, England between July 1963 and October 1965. Their acts, totaling 5 victims between the ages of 10 and 17. Both murderers were sentenced to life without any possibility of parole or conditional release. Although 5 children were murdered in the Moors murder case, only 3 were referenced lyrically in the Smiths song: John Kilbride, Leslie Ann Downey, and Edward Evans. The remaining children, Keith Bennett and Pauline Reed, were not associated with the Moors murders until 1985, after the song had already been released. The song carries a tone of sorrow, showing remembrance and honoring the lives of the children lost, as well as de-glorifying the perspective of Ian Brady and Myra Hindley. Leslie Ann with your pretty white beads. Oh John, you'll never be a man, and you'll never see your home again. Oh Manchester, so much to answer for. Edward, see those alluring lights? Tonight will be your very last night. A woman said, I know my son is dead. I'll never rest my hands on his sacred head. Sonic Youth, featuring Lydia Lunch, Death Valley 69. In the 1970s, an underground, avant-garde, anti art movement began to arise in the streets of New York City, known as No Wave. No Wave explores a vast array of music genres, most notably industrial and noise rock. In 1985, 2 icons within this scene, Sonic Youth and Lydia Lunch, collaborated to bring us Death Valley 69 on Sonic Youth's Bad Moon Rising album. The song makes alluding references to Charles Manson and the Manson family, who resided in Death Valley, California during 1969. Charles Manson is known within history for being a notable cult leader, criminal, and musician. In the late 60s to early 70s, with the help of other members of his cult, or family, Charles helped orchestrate a series of at least 9 murders. Their base in Death Valley was built to be a refuge against what Manson referred to as helter-skelter, or an apocalyptic war that would arise from racial tension. During this year, the Manson family carried out some of their most publicized acts, such as the Tate-Bianca murders, slaying pregnant actress Sharon Tate along with 4 other members of her company, as well as supermarket executive Lino LaBianca and his wife, Rosemary, in their Los Angeles home. This track has less on-the-nose lyricism, often seen through the eyes of someone in the Manson family. The music video features a mixture of live footage intermingled with scenes of the band's gory, lifeless corpses. One of the lyrics, Sadie, I Love It, is a reference to Susan Sexy Sadie Atkins, a member of the Manson family who participated in the Shannon Tate murders, among several others. Coming down, Sadie, I love it. Now, now, now. Death Valley 69. You're right, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right. I was on the wrong track. We're deep in the valley and deep in the gully and now on the canyon. Way out in the yonder, she started to holler, she started to holler. I didn't wanna, I didn't wanna, I didn't wanna, I didn't wanna, but she started to holler. So I had to hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. The Killers. Jenny Was a Friend of Mine. The Killers are an American pop alternative rock band based out of Las Vegas, Nevada, hailed for having an energetic and palatable energy mixed with anthemic, romanticized lyricism. Their most celebrated and highest selling release, Hot Fuss, houses a notable opening track titled Jenny Was a Friend of Mine. Jenny Was a Friend of Mine is conveyed from the point of view of a boy who has been taken in for questioning regarding the murder of a girl named Jenny. The song is directly inspired by the videotaped confession of Robert Chambers, made on the morning after the death of Jennifer Levin. Robert Emmett Chambers Jr. committed the act of strangulation on 18-year-old Jennifer Levin in New York City's Central Park. Chambers claimed that Levin's death was accidental, forcing her off as she was attempting to sexually assault him. Chambers pleaded guilty to first-degree manslaughter, which determined a sentence of 15 years. During his sentence that April, he stated in court, "It breaks my heart to have to say this. The Levin family has gone through hell because of my actions, and I am sorry. Tell me what you want to know. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. There ain't no motive for this crime. Jenny was a friend of mine. So come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. I know my rights. I've been here all day, and it's time for me to go, so let me know if it's all right. I just can't take this. I swear I told you the truth. She couldn't scream while I held her close. I swore I'd never let her go." Joy Division, In a Lonely Place. Joy Division is one of the most notable bands within the original post-punk scene. Often riddled with cold, dark, and brooding atmosphere, the genre involves stances usually on serious subject matter. Their lead singer, Ian Curtis, suffered with severe epilepsy and depression. Despite the advice given by others who suffered from epilepsy, Curtis continued to drink, smoke, and maintain irregular sleep patterns. This would cause adverse side effects from his medication, such as extreme mood swings and bring about more violent epileptic seizures. With a marriage crumbling due to affair and an ongoing struggle with deep depression, Ian Curtis took his own life on the 18th of May, 1980. Following the death of Curtis, the remaining members of Joy Division would later go on to form the band New Order. In 1981, originally recorded while still Joy Division, New Order released their first single, Ceremony, along with a B-side titled In a Lonely Place. In a Lonely Place is the last song ever written and performed by Joy Division, with Curtis conveying lyrics of a person who is already dead and hanging above the ground. The hangman looks round as he waits. The cord stretches tight, then it breaks. Someday we will die in your dreams. How I wish we were here with you now. Interpol, Evil. From the late 70s of post-punk into the early 2000s, we reach Manhattan, New York's Interpol, combining the nocturnal nature of post-punk with an indie rhythmic sensibility. Interpol has released a slew of quality full-length releases and a ton of memorable songs, but none with a foundation skeptically rooted in murder like Evil. It is widely believed that Evil is a song about British serial killers Fred and Rosemary West. Fred and Rosemary West committed at least 12 murders in a 20-year span. All victims were young women, with at least 8 being involved in acts that I can't mention on YouTube. Later, the victims were disposed of in the cellar or garden of their Gloucester home. After being detained, Fred fatally asphyxiated himself at HM Prison, Birmingham, while Rose carried their charges and was sentenced to 10 life terms. Evil's lyrics are seen from Fred's perspective in the first half, making statements of Fred's commitment to Rosemary and the acts they carry out. The latter portion of the song is taken from the perspective of Rose, dealing with her conviction, the death of her husband, and the life she chose to lead. Despite claims from the fans that this song is linked to the West murders, Interpol denies its association as nothing more than coincidental. Rosemary, heaven restores you in life. You're coming with me through the aging, the fearing, the strife. It's the smiling on the package. It's the faces in the sand. Leave some shards under the belly. Lay some grease inside my hand. It's a sentimental jury and the makings of a good plan. You've come to love me lightly. Yeah, you come to hold me tight. Is this motion everlasting, or just shudders pass through the night? Rosemary. Oh, heaven restores you in life. At the Drive-In, Invalid Litter Department. At the Drive-In is a one of my favorite post-hardcore bands. Based out of El Paso, Texas, they are known for encompassing the driving elements of punk rock with the emotional brevity of emo, building a system of tension and release through conscious, sometimes abstract lyricism. Their most celebrated release, Relationship of Command, contains a very emotionally driven track titled Invalid Litter Department. At the Drive-In, primarily being Mexican-American, sought to shed light within this song on the femicides in Juarez, Mexico, where nearly 500 women were often R-worded and killed between the years of 1993 and 2011 due to various reasons tied with drug cartels and maquiladoras, or exploitive labor facilities. Juarez is located just across the U.S.-Mexican border from El Paso, the hometown to At the Drive-In. This song notes being highly critical of the federales, or Mexican federal police, for their lack of effort in responding to and solving these terrible crimes. Intravenously polite, it was the walkie-talkies that had knocked the pins down, as their shoes lay dangling on the dirt floor in the silhouette of dying, dancing on the corpse's ashes. Yeah, they had plans for him. They had spun the last of the pimps. Polyester, satin-nailed jewelry lips, while the guillotine just laughed again, dancing on the corpse's ashes, and the paramedics have fallen into the wound like a rehired scab on a bare-handed plant, an anesthetic penance beneath the hail of contraband, dancing on the corpse's ashes. On my way, nails broken fell into the wishing well, wishing well, wishing well. On my way, dancing on the corpse's ashes, dancing on the corpse's ashes. Roar, Christmas Kids. Roar is a chamber pop band based out of Phoenix, Arizona. Chamber pop is known for its lax retro feel, combining traditional indie elements with orchestral instrumentation, creating a nice, cohesive wall of sound. Known as I Can't Handle Change, the EP contains the song Christmas Kids. Christmas Kids analyzes the relationship of Ronnie and Phil Spector. Phil Spector is most known for being a record producer and songwriter, being behind works such as the Ramones' End of the Century, Leonard Cohen's Death of a Ladies' Man, and George Harrison's All Things Must Pass. Ronnie Spector was an American singer in the all-female-led group The Ronettes, known most for their hit Be My Baby. The group gained attention via Phil's production and name. After marrying, Phil subjected Ronnie to multiple forms of abuse, including locking her in their house, guarded by barbed wire and dogs, forbidding her to record or perform as the opening act for bands such as the Beatles, and threatening to put her in a glass coffin in their basement on display after murdering her. To further in this manipulation, on Christmas, Phil convinced her to adopt twins, thus intertwining her more within their marriage. Ronnie would reportedly drink so heavy that she would be admitted into the hospital just to be able to escape their home. Ronette, my dear, don't ever disappear. Do what you want as long as you stay here. I need you now. I love you so much, more than you could know. The Christmas Kids were nothing but a gift, and love is a tower where all of us can live. You'll change your name or change your mind and leave this fucked up place behind. But I'll know, 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 I'll know. Appearing unsightly with devils inside me. If you ever try to leave me, I'll find you, Ronnie. Brand New, Limousine. Brand New is a 2000s emo alternative rock band from Merrick, New York. Brand New's music has evolved over time to have deeply introspective lyricism that can walk into realms of anger, depression, and even nihilism. On their magnum opus, The Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me, we take a look at the song titled Limousine. Limousine depicts the tragic story of Katie Flynn, a flower girl returning home with her family in a limousine after her aunt's wedding. After having 14 drinks and being 3 times over the legal alcohol limit, Martin Heidgen was driving 70 miles per hour, or 112 kilometers per hour, in the same lane as the family, moving in the opposite direction. Heidgen impacted the limo head-on. The limousine driver, Stanley Rabinowitz, was killed on impact. When police surveyed the wreckage, the family looked to be in a state of severe injury. Broken bones intermingled with the wreckage of the limousine. Mrs. Flynn then emerged from the car, holding the head of her daughter in her hands. Katie had been decapitated by her seatbelt. Mrs. Flynn then sat on the side of the road for an hour, Katie's head in her lap. She watched as the rest of her family was cut from the crashed limousine. Katie's last words being, "Daddy, this is the best day of my life." Jennifer Flynn sought to make the story public, hoping to spread a message of awareness to others about the devastation that can be caused by drunk driving. Kate, it's your ride. Get your pedals out and lay them in the aisle. Pretend. You're a god and grow, and it's your day to wed. We found your man, He's drinking up. He's all American. And I'll drive. He's volunteered with grace to end your life. We'll tidy up. It's sad to hold, but leave your shell to us. You explode. You firefly. You tiny boat with oars. Feather oars. The world tilts back and pours, and so, you satellite, you tidal wave, you're a big surprise, and I've one more night to be your mother. The Cranberries, Zombie. Known as one of the most memorable pop groups in the 90s, the Cranberries hail from Limerick, Ireland. The ravishingly popular hit, Zombie, reflects the young victims of a bombing in Warrington, England during the Troubles in Northern Ireland. The Troubles centered around if the Northern Territory of Ireland should remain within the UK under British rule or join and reunite the region as the Republic of Ireland. This conflict lasted nearly 30 years, killing more than 3,500 people from thousands of bombing attacks. On March 20th, 1993, 2 improvised explosives detonated in a shopping street of Warrington, England, killing 2 children, Jonathan Ball, age 3, and Tim Perry, age 12, while also leaving 56 people injured. Dolores O'Riordan wrote Zombie to shed light and reflection of the event following the death of these children. She is quoted on the writing process as saying, "We were on a tour bus, and I was near the location where it happened, so it really struck me hard. I was quite young, but I remember being devastated about the innocent children being pulled into that kind of thing. So I suppose that's why I was saying, it's not me, that even though I'm Irish, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. Because being Irish, it was quite hard, especially in the UK where there was so much tension. Another head hangs lowly. Child is slowly taken. And in the violence, cause such silence. Who are we mistaken? But you see, it's not me, it's not my family. In your head, they are fighting. With their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns, in your head, they are crying. In your head, zombie, 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 E. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Wanted to be a little bit more serious as some of the subject matter is pretty sensitive. Feel free to let me know which song you were most intrigued by. If you have any suggestions for videos in the future, I'd love to hear them. Once again, we're also doing some streaming weekly on Twitch. Ah! The world is on fire now? Oh, ow, why? If you wanted to hop into the Twitch streams and say hello, feel free to do so. Thank you so much for getting me to 100 subscribers, and I will see you in the next video. Rosemary, heaven restores you in life.